Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So whether you're traveling for a holiday, to visit family or friends, traveling with a baby can seem pretty stressful. Junior and I have been on almost 10 flights, ranging anything from 2 hours all the way to 10 hours. And here are some tips that we learned that we would like to share with you guys. So the first thing you want to consider is actually making your booking. When is your baby's best moment? Will he be hungry? Will he be tired? With us, we travel between 6 and 7 a.m. or 4 and 6 p.m. That works around his nap times, so it allows us to have him asleep 1 or 2 hours into the actual flight. Will your baby be on your lap or in a car seat? Depending on what you decide, you'll have to actually spend more money if you actually choose a car seat. Some of the airlines don't actually accept baby bookings online, so you have to actually call them up and let them know you'll be bringing a baby. And also, while you're on the phone, you want to let them know that you'd like a cot or a car seat, which are provided by the airline. Don't forget your travel documents. You can make some baby bookings without your actual passports, but some airlines require you to have your passport first. So depending on the age of your baby, you'll need to have the passport ready. At this stage, you want everything to be as easy as possible. So you want to put everything into as few bags as possible, and especially keep the baby's things separate in a bag that won't actually go into the overhead cabinet. You want to keep that under your chair, in front of you or behind you, depending on the airline. Some airlines don't actually allow you to have a bag under your seat, and that's usually like the bigger planes, especially if you're sitting in a baby seat. At the check-in desk, you want to have all the passports as easily accessible as possible, so I usually keep this in an over-the-shoulder bag or around the waist body bag. You'll also need to put these passports back in that same position with your boarding passes, because you'll need that for security 2 times and gate check. So you'll be taking it in and out so many times that you might as well just have it in a quick position. You can check your stroller, car seat, travel cot, or whatever baby gear that you guys have brought with you at the check-in desk when you check your larger suitcases. Depending on if it's a large airport or a small airport, we tend to keep our stroller with us until we've actually got to the gate, and then we wrap it up into a gate check bag, which is designed for fly-in. It keeps everything nice and in one bag, so that we don't have to worry about searching for parts, and it's just so much easier, because if the baby's asleep, we can unwrap him from us and put him down to rest a while we wait for our flight to actually board. So one of my favorite tips is, whilst you're at the check-in desk, you want to ask the staff if the flight is full, or if you can actually check your check-in bags along with your bigger suitcase and other traveling stuff. This just saves you so much space, especially if you put all the baby stuff into one separate bag. You can just get rid of all your other little suitcases that you might need to put in the overhead, and that just lightens the load, because you already have a baby and you have 2 or 3 bags depending on who's traveling with you, and it's a lot to carry through. So if they can take some of the bags for you, this just makes everything light work. I always go for the option of wearing the baby. That would be either on my body or my husband's body. It doesn't matter who, as long as it's on. Make sure you take off your jacket and watches first, and we tend to put these into the stroller. We also spend about 5 minutes at the disposable desk, and we throw away any liquids that aren't allowed, as well as wrapping up all his baby food into one bag, because if you do it into that way and you separate all the liquids and everything nicely for them, they tend not to stop your bag through once it's actually gone through the x-ray. So if you organize it nicely for them, they won't stop you and check the baby food and test it all out. So that just makes it much easier, because it just speeds up your whole process and you have more time to actually spend before you get to boarding your flight. You made it through security, guys. Well done. You want to use this time between security and boarding the flight to actually get the baby something to eat, get him out the sling, him or her out the sling. You want to change the diaper, put on some fresh clothes or put on some airplane clothes. We tend to put on a little onesie that is sleeveless, something still warm, but something that he can breathe from and he easily on the flight. We also get ourselves something to eat and buy any water that we might need for the flight. Most airlines tend to board families with children with the first class and business passengers. If it doesn't do it this way, then you're boarded directly after. That's only some airlines though. They're really helpful if they do that. So if this is the case, we tend to take advantage of that. When we get onto the plane, we familiarize ourselves with toilets, exits, staff. We get to know the staff that will be treating our cabin, and she shows us how to do the baby seatbelt and anything that's extra for the baby on the plane, like the life jacket or the lifeboat. Some planes have different stuff. I want to tell you guys, relax. Your baby is going to be a baby. Whether it cries, poops and smells out the plane, is irritable, can't sleep, that's what babies do. They cry. So don't feel like everyone else is judging you. Most people are actually so understanding, and they actually will offer to hold your baby for you. So if you're comfortable with that, then you have that option available. Sometimes we meet some really nice people on the flight who would hold you in for like an hour or two, give us a break. Take advantage of it. Obviously, be very mindful. Most babies don't tend to cope well on takeoff and landing, or if the plane has a change in air pressure. So you want to have your baby stuck on something that will help depressurize them. That could be a pacifier, a bottle, nipple while breastfeeding, or any form of cut up fruits, which I tend to go for as well, like an apple or a banana in a fruit squidgy. I can't think of the name, but you moms know what I mean. And when you're going to the toilet, you also want to take the essentials. Those toilets on the plane are so small, it hardly has any space for one person, let alone a mom trying to change a baby. So you just want to take one wipe, not one wipe, one nappy, and a packet of wipes and a change of outfit if that's the case. I tend to take the change of outfit anyways because Junior goes straight through his nappies. I'm not sure why, he's a big boy. So you want to take it as simple as possible, as there's no space in there for anything extra. Don't be afraid to ask the flight attendants when is mealtime. This is so beneficial because it gives you time to actually plan before they come bombarding you with food, and you already have a baby, and you probably have bags and games and snacks and everything on you, so it actually gives you time to prepare. We tend to put Junior down for a nap. If we know it's going to be food time within the 30 minutes, we'll put him down into his cot or chair that's provided by the airline. If he doesn't want to sleep, we'll give him a piece of fruit to eat so that he's kept occupied, or a toy. If you don't have that seat available to you, you can also wear your baby in cradle position, so your baby's like sideways, and this works better with a sling. So the sling baby wrap, that's like the piece of cloth one, not the actual ready-made baby carriers. So a sling is what we usually fly with most of the time, all of the time, because it works out better. When the captain gives his pre-warning sign, you usually have about an hour before you actually touch the ground. So they give you about 20-30 minutes before they actually put on the seatbelt sign, which means no one will be able to move around. We use this time, that 30 minutes, to freshen ourselves up because space is tight on the plane, especially with a baby. Things can get messy, so we usually change our tops and bottoms if necessary because drinks have been spilled before. We also use this as a time to feed Junior, change his nappy, give him some fresh clothes. Depending on when we're landing, we tend to go out straight after we get to our destination. This also gives you good timing for customs because sometimes it can be a lengthy procedure, especially if you're not native to that country. You have to go in that separate people line and it takes forever. And then the actual journey from the hotel to the airport, from the airport to the hotel. Yeah, that can be something that is tiring after dragging all your suitcases, dragging all the baby gear. You just want everything to be as non-fussy as possible, and following these steps actually made it somewhat easier, definitely easier for us when we were traveling with Junior. Depending on how long the flight was, we actually sometimes grab a shower and just adjust ourselves to the new environment or climate. So that means either putting on more clothes or putting on less clothes, depending on if we're going to actually go out that day. We refrigerate any baby food or drinks or anything that really is perishable that needs to actually be kept in a certain environment. We also use this time to get some bonding time in with the baby. On a long flight, most of the time they're kept in their seat. That's due to the seatbelt light always coming on and off. So we just get some bonding time with him, get him used to the new environment, get him used to any family or friends that he will be meeting for the first time. We also unpack any toiletries and just put out some simple clothes, whether that be any underwear or our outfits for the next day. Just have the room feeling a bit more home-like. I'm hoping this video will make traveling with your baby a much smoother journey. Remember, everyone can do it, and safe travels. Stay positive, stay focused, and stay patient. Bye guys.